Hello and happy Labor Day. My name is Mr. G. I'm your meteorologist and welcome to Elite Weather Forecasting. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the weather coming up for the remainder of your holiday here, as well as the upcoming week as you go back to work. And school is going to be starting for a lot of the school children, especially here in Minnesota. We start school tomorrow, so your kids will be getting on the school bus in the morning back to school. So let's talk about the weather forecast. And our city of the day is Omaha, Nebraska. Beautiful sunny day out there in Omaha, but the only thing of it is very windy. As you can see, the camera's bouncing around out there. So it's quite breezy this afternoon, but it's very hot. Temperatures are in the mid 90s right now. Temperature is 94 across the northeastern Nebraska out there. I'll check out the birds flying by. Cool. So anyway, a beautiful, hot day. And that's temperature is representative of what we're seeing across much of the Midwest and the eastern U.S. and down to the south and the southern plains as well. So a lot of heat, a lot of humidity. Some folks are seeing some thunderstorms. We have a storm system moving across the northern Rockies that's going to spread into the upper Midwest and the high plains as we move in through the week. And we are watching the tropics as well. We do have one tropical potential system out there over the Atlantic that we're tracking right now. So let's move on with the rest of the forecast. All right, so let's talk about the weather forecast for the rest of the country right now. And our current conditions, we are seeing some showers and storms along the southern U.S. here, along the Gulf Coast, Louisiana, and into Arkansas and Missouri, and into parts of Illinois. There's a few showers out there. So we are dealing with some afternoon and evening thunderstorms here across the deep south. Eastern Texas, now we are finally getting some rainfall across the state of Texas, as it has been very dry this summer. So some rain. We have embedded tropical wave as well as a stationary front in the area that is providing these showers and thunderstorms. And then we have a frontal boundary and an area of low pressure across the northern Rockies that's spreading showers and thunderstorms from the Pacific Northwest, and that's going to be extending eastward over the next several days into the northern plains. So Minnesota and the Dakotas, we're going to see severe weather evolve over the next couple of days, and we still have some monsoon moisture down here across the Four Corners. This storm system that's moving across the north was a storm system that contributed to that flooding and that disaster across Nevada and the Las Vegas area where we saw that record rainfall, that flash flooding, and that folks that are still trapped at that concert out in the desert out there. So they're still working to get folks rescued and home from that disaster. So yeah, we're still, but most of the country is pretty dry today, with the exception of those couple of areas that where we're seeing some thunderstorm activity this afternoon. And then, as far as the satellite imagery is concerned, here is those showers and storms down across the south, and there is our northern stream system that is providing those showers and storms across parts of the Pacific Northwest and the northern Rockies and into the northern plains as well, near Minnesota and North and South Dakota. Here is our current temperatures. Very hot down here across Texas. We're seeing that triple digit heat. Temperatures in the upper 90s to lower 100s, and those 90s extend through the central plains and into the northern plains as well. Up here in Minnesota, we're seeing those temperatures in the mid 90s right now, and through the Minnesota, Wisconsin, through parts of Michigan, we're seeing those temperatures in the 80s, and we're seeing those 80s in the northeast. Now, as our storm system advances to the east, so will this heat, and this heat will eventually make its way across the Great Lakes tomorrow and into Wednesday. We're going to see that heat into the northeast and New England. We're going to see those 90s over that way as we move into the mid part of the week. Toward the latter half of the week, we're going to see that heat moving into the upper Midwest. But here across, not the upper Midwest, the northeast, but here over the upper Midwest, the change off with that is going to be much cooler air is going to move in behind that cold front that's moving across the northern plains in the midweek point, and behind that front, we're going to see fall-like temperatures in the 60s in some areas, and as well as the 70s, and much lower humidities as well. So there is relief on the way for many folks across the northern half of the country as we move into the upcoming week. And here we are as we talk about that heat index. It's still pretty hot out there. We're still seeing that those heat indexes near 106 degrees down there in southern Texas, 100 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's 98 degrees. We're seeing a heat index here for Minneapolis. So still a lot of heat and humidity. The humidity is not as bad because we are looking at temperatures in the mid 90s, and the humidity, the dew points are about in the 60s right now. Here is our departure from average, or at least a 24-hour temperature change. So what we saw yesterday, this is the temperature difference to today. So in a 24-hour period, and we're seeing it much cooler there across the northwestern United States. So up here across the northwest, this is where our storm system has passed. So we're going to see this cooler air make its way toward the Midwest and eventually in the Great Lakes with our storm that's moving from the west to the east. So we're going to see that same type of temperature change over with a 24-hour period make its way across the upper Midwest as well. So to the eastern United States, we are going to see those temperatures change. So that is very good news that we're going to get a break from the heat, especially at the start of the new school year. Typically, what always happens here is that it's really hot when the beginning of school year, and then give it a couple weeks, then we start to feel those fall September temperatures, especially as we get closer to the month of October, which typically happens here in Minnesota. It can even snow here in October, so we're not that far away from the first snowfall of the season potentially. So here is our dew points right now, and our higher dew points are here in the Midwest, here in the deep South, so along the Gulf Coast, from East Texas to the eastern, to the Atlantic, to the Northeast, the Great Lakes, and the Upper Midwest. We're seeing those dew points in the 60s and the 70s as you get through the central and southern plains and the Midwest and down into the lower Mississippi River Valley. We're seeing those dew points upper 60s to lower 70s. So very humid, very sticky air, and we also are seeing some thunderstorms and all that humidity as well. Here is our current watches and warnings posted by the United States National Weather Service. We have heat advisories. This is for excessive heat across the southern plains from parts of New Mexico, Colorado, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Texas. And we have heat advisories up here across the upper Midwest. Severe thunderstorm watches in effect as well. We have heat advisory, severe thunderstorm, and we have wind advisories occurring up there. We have heat advisories up here across the upper Midwest. So in Minneapolis, western Wisconsin, Duluth up there, heat advisories in place this afternoon. And we also have heat advisories up there across the Northeast as the heat and humidity is making things very uncomfortable out there for your holiday. And here is your forecast for your Tuesday morning. Showers and thunderstorms here across the upper Midwest and the high plains. So we're going to see those showers and storms north and South Dakota and northwestern Minnesota tomorrow morning. And we're going to see some showers and storms out over the Rockies. And we're going to see those showers and storms down here across the deep South. So Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi, Louisiana, again, some showers and storms in the morning. And in your midday, so in your afternoon, those showers and storms will begin to spread east. Area of low pressure there across Minnesota, going to bring that severe weather across North and South Dakota. Showers and storms here across the Ohio Valley, so parts of southern Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, Illinois, Tennessee, Arkansas, eastern Missouri, again in Louisiana, showers and thunderstorms because we do have that tropical wave and we have a warm front in place out there across the the parts of the Corn Belt and the central and southern, the lower Mississippi River Valley. So we're going to be dealing with some showers and storms in that way. And in the evening, we're going to see much of the same. We're definitely going to see that flare up here up across the upper Midwest. Minneapolis, we can see some severe weather tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. So severe weather here across the upper Midwest and through, I dropped my clicker. Through Minnesota, down through Illinois, through Iowa as well, Wisconsin. So those severe thunderstorms is going to be possible in the afternoon. And our primary threats is going to be large hail and damaging winds. And we're going to be seeing some excessive heavy rainfall that can lead to some flash flooding as well. So it's definitely going to be a barn burner to break the heat and to usher in that cooler air. And this is the price you pay to get that cooler air, is that you're going to have to deal with severe thunderstorms tomorrow across parts of Minnesota and Wisconsin. Here's what we're going to expect this week. Hot and sunny across the west, cooler across the Pacific Northwest and the Northern Rockies, severe weather across the Northern Plains, but it's going to be hot over the Great Lakes and the east, the northeast, and the mid-Atlantic, and we're going to see showers and thunderstorms down here in the tropics of the Gulf of Mexico and here across the lower Mississippi River Valley here, so in the Ozarks. We're going to be seeing some severe weather, and we're going to be talking about forecast highs for the beginning of the week. Monday, today, we're seeing those highs in the mid-90s, and looking at 92 there tomorrow. So a couple of degrees cooler across parts of the upper Midwest tomorrow as that front begins to move in. But check out Pierre with a temperature of 85 degrees as that front passes, and we see that 98 today, 85 tomorrow, as the front will be making those showers and thunderstorms. As we look at that hot continue for Monday and Tuesday, and then as we take a look at where Monday across the country, this is where we're expecting today, those 70s across the desert Southwest and into California, 69 in Seattle. But we're seeing it bright and sunny across the upper Midwest and the plains. Temperatures in the lower 100s and those upper 90s as well. And we're seeing those lower to mid 90s across the Northeast as we talk about your Monday, and those 90s across the mid-Atlantic, 90s across the Southeast, and 90s along the Southern Plains. So very hot still again. Here is our severe weather outlook for tomorrow, and we're going to see those severe thunderstorms where it's going to be likely across the upper Midwest through tonight. So North and South Dakota, parts of Montana, Wyoming, again, Nebraska, we're going to be looking at that severe weather. And that severe weather will slide to the east tomorrow through Minnesota. Look at the Twin Cities. Minneapolis, definitely going to see that severe weather, like damaging winds up to 75 miles per hour, 2 to 3 inch diameter hail possible. Isolated tornadoes and heavy rain is also going to be possible, as we have a nice triple point there with an area of low pressure, and we have this frontal boundaries here. So we're going to be dealing with that severe potential likelihood across the upper Midwest tomorrow. And then into midweek, this is those temperatures, and we're going to be seeing those hot temperatures continue through the mid part of the week here. And those record temperatures as well. But as we get into the latter half of the week, we're going to start to see things cool off, as we're going to start to see 70s break in for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So much improvement across the eastern U.S., the Great Lakes, and the Northeast. Behind that frontal boundary, showers and thunderstorms on Thursday across the Northeast and the Great Lakes. And those hot temperatures will remain in place as well for another day. On Friday, we're going to start to see it cool off over the Great Lakes, 70s, and those showers and thunderstorms for your Friday. But that heat and humidity, showers and storms along the I-95 corridor for Friday from Boston down to Washington, D.C., showers and thunderstorms, and the potential for some severe weather once again for your Friday. And then in the tropics, we have Invest 95L we're tracking that's going to make its way towards the Leeward Islands and Puerto Rico by the time we get to the upcoming Sunday. So through this week, this it's going to slowly track toward the west northwest and veer very slightly north of the Caribbean islands, so the Leeward Islands, Puerto Rico, as well as through Haiti and Dominican, and eventually going to track toward the southeastern U.S., kind of taking an aim towards North Carolina and Virginia, isn't it? But we're going to track it to see if it veers toward the north and east and turns away from the U.S. mainland. But at this time, it is headed straight toward the southeastern U.S. Here is where we're going to expect it to see it on Saturday. They are near just to the north, to the southwest of just north and east of San Juan, Puerto Rico. So we will be spreading rain showers, rain and thunderstorms across Puerto Rico and the Leeward Islands. So we're going to be monitoring for those regions closely. And that's what you can do to beat the heat. Stay inside, get plenty of hydration, and stay calm, stay cool, and collected. All right, my name is Mr. G. That was your weather forecast. Thank you for watching me today. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. And leave a follow on TikTok. Bye-bye.